All right, and this is another totally awesome Friends of Jen, where I interview ladies that are leading with their hearts, causing a positive ripple effect into the world. And today I have the beautiful June Morrow with me, and I would describe June as a superhero. Okay, get this. Um, in the day, she works for the Ontario government.
For the time being.
Not for long. In the night, you passionately help people authentically connect with themselves, others, and love. And what June is phenomenal at is if you're struggling with a breakup after a long-term relationship and wanting to get back into the dating field, June is this phenomenal coach, speaker, facilitator. And we first met actually by me watching June speak. So I was at a Mo Mondays in Toronto.
Yeah.
That's how we met. And
Yeah.
I've been to several Mo Mondays. I've actually been on 3 different Mo Monday stages myself. And you're by far my favorite speaker I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you so much.
You were like, mic drop, brilliant. And so that day, that's actually, I walked up to you afterwards to tell you that. Like,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was trying to remember how I knew you, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And I went to kind of just scout out how different people formulated their talks and things like that. And I was just watching you in awe and just learning. And I was like, and you're just a phenomenal speaker. Then I read your book. So June has a book out, Love Lessons from a Lap Dancer, which is amazing as well. And even today and yesterday when I was going on your different websites and stuff, I'm just reading your copy and I'm just laughing out loud and I'm just like loving everything that you are doing. And
and I need you in my back pocket following me around all the time.
And this is why I want to do interviews like this and kind of almost bring all the superheroes together, because how you impact my life, it can be lonely, like doing the things that we do and am I doing the right thing? And every once in a while I see a video from you or I see a post and I'm like, yes. And even reading your website, I'm like, Jen Walker, redo your website, like things like that. So I think that's why it's really important for us to kind of band together and move along, because I see you on an international stage. I see your book internationally recognized. You are just a gem. Anyway.
Oh, thank you so much. Takes one to know one.
We were connected for a reason.
Yes.
So, I'll turn it over to you because I want everyone to hear about you. I love, love, love origin stories. So you are doing what you were meant to do. How did you get to this stage?
So I guess with the dating coaching, what happened was I was divorced after a 12-year relationship. This was about 5 years ago. And the whole time I'd been married, I'd been one of those people who was married who really wanted to be single, right? I wanted to stay married, but I also wanted to be single. Like I'd watch Sex and the City and I'd seen like this whole idea of like, wow, what an incredible time you can have if you're single and in the city and there's all these guys and they're great and you find your Mr. Big and all this stuff. So when we split up, I was like, yeah, it's my moment. And instead of finding Mr. Big and having fun in the city, I just kind of like, I attracted losers and I was unhappy and I had bad experiences and I met not the best people and I was not having my moments. And I was like, no, this isn't good. So I decided to do something about it. So I studied. I looked at like every single book on dating, relationships, attraction, chemistry, differences between the sexes, which is fascinating to me, evolutionary psychology. And I took workshops and I studied like all these experts and followed their blogs. And I started taking these things I was learning out on real dates in the real world to see what would happen. And some of them like just really worked really, really well. And some of them I fell flat on my face. But over time, I started getting my game on in a big way. And in 1 year, I went on over 100 dates. And I think for me, like that year, what really solidified it was I went on a singles cruise, which is not like a swinger party. It's actually just like a regular cruise, and there's organizations that get groups of singles together, and it's like day camp for adult singles on a boat. and you're all together and you're doing things together. And I thought, I'm going to try everything I've learned that so far has worked up until this point on this cruise and see what happened. And it was amazing. I had like 5 guys lined up to talk to me at dinner. It was
Nice.
just like, it was such a like, dream thing. And I met this guy who was like worked as an agent in the United States, like very sexy, and just like it was everything. And then from that point on, it was kind of like everything flipped. And so I would tell people that I met, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm loving being single. It's so much fun. And they'd be like, I hate it. I hate dating. It's awful. It's like, gouge out my eyes with a beer bottle. I'd rather do that than date. So I thought, okay, I'm kind of onto something. And I'd done some training at my work and some facilitation. And so I started giving workshops for singles, talking about what I was going through and what I'd learned, and sharing some of my tips. And I wrote the book, and just kind of took it from there, and then took that into one-on-one coaching. And now I have a group program that's going to be starting in January next year. So yeah, very exciting stuff.
Sweet. Yeah. And that's, so what is it like? So if somebody is right now looking for you, so do you mainly work with people that have just gone through a breakup and want to get back into the dating world?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah. So I work with all sorts of people, but kind of my target audience is people who have gone through a breakup and they want to get back into dating and they're not sure how. Because it's been a while, because dating has changed, right? If you've been in a relationship for more than 5 years and you go back online these days, you're realizing like, what? It's so different from what I was 5 years ago, right? There's like ghosting and there's sexting and there's all these things that people are like, what? Didn't have to navigate this.
Yeah.
And also there's like, our world has changed.
Yeah.
We're so like superficial in some ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That's really working to our detriment. So it's learning how to navigate kind of the way the system is, because you're not going to change the system, but how can you be in that system in a way that's going to elevate you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, I see dating as a path to personal growth.
Me too.
Yeah. That's really how I see it. It's not so much about, and it's kind of, this is counterintuitive to what people think, but it's not so much about meeting someone else. It's about meeting yourself.
Yeah.
It's about, who am I when I'm my best? How can I bring out more of who I am when I'm my best? How can I be happier in my life? How can I be more connected with the world in general? Because I tell you, when you're connected with the world, when you're connected with love in general, that's when it comes to you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I do with my clients, is help them get to that point while still navigating and working through, or if they're still dealing with, another thing I see a lot is people might still have lingering hurt from their breakups. So it's kind of, how do we work through that? How do we be gentle on ourselves? How can we let go, right? Or deal with the issues that we're dealing with now so that we can start letting in more love. I
love it. And I love your website, because dating has changed. So your website, dating's changed. And I remember when I was doing a little bit of because I've dove into the research also for myself.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? And I just kept on saying over and over and over, let's change the conversation. Let's change the conversation, because how it's changed, there's this lack of empathy with online apps, and this abundance, perceived abundance of choice. So we go on a couple of dates and we're like, what else is out there? It's like, choose to scroll. And what you said about, because I dove into, so I did a 3-month love life discovery on myself, experiment on myself.
Yeah.
Was proactive in my love life, and I learned more about myself in those 3 months that I probably learned in the 30 years prior. And I saw myself for the first time, and so I love that what you said, like I really see it. So I love dating, and whenever I talk to somebody that doesn't, I'm like, it's amazing. You get to learn so much about yourself. Also create the space to witness somebody else.
Yes.
Invite them into to growth and like them. Anyway, I could go on, but I love what you're doing and evolving. So there you go. So so in the Ladies That Lead group, I love brags, offers, and needs. 3 things that we don't often talk about. So what's a big brag that you can share with us? A recent success or something you're proud of?
Well, I'm proud of my book. I'm going to be like schleppy here. Step in the book. I am really proud of this actually, because my whole life I'd wanted to write a book. I enjoy writing. And this was like 2 years of my life, right? People think, oh, I'll write a book, you know, but it was like waking up every morning at 5 a.m. and writing before work and writing after work and spending all my Saturdays writing. But I think it's a really good book.
It's a great book.
So yeah, so I'm really proud of this. I think it was that's a big accomplishment of mine in the past couple of years. Yeah.
And what do you offer right now? So what's the one thing that you would love everyone that is looking for?
Yeah. What I would love is people just to sign up to my email list.
Yeah.
Because every week I send out tips, information, all about how you can connect more with other people, how you can connect with yourself, how you can connect with love, how to be, you know, how to navigate things with more ease. And so I have on my site, there's a number of ways to get in there, but I have an offer right now. If you're new to online dating, it's 6 tips that will help you navigate that when there's things that you need to know if you're new to online dating, right? That people don't really know or think about before they start. So there's that. Or I also, if you've been dating for a while, I also have a quiz, which you can find out what stage of dating you're at.
Oh,
which
cool.
is kind of cool, because there's many stages people go through.
Cool.
Right? From being a toe dipper to being totally ready for a relationship to like having their patterns face them, you know, hit them in the face. So yeah, so go to my website. It's www.datingschanged.com. And if you go on the homepage, you should be able to see both those offers.
Perfect. And I'm going to attach some links as well to this so that people can go easily, because I'm on your email list and I love the last email was like, how, like it was 36 questions or something to love yourself.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Nice.
Love that. That's so
nice.
great. So you add like, yeah, you have such amazing quizzes and just resources, content, like just really valuable stuff. So I'll include a link on that. What would you need like going forward so that I know, so I can help you and so that others can help you? Like what do you need going forward? Are you looking to get out of your day job?
Yeah, I really need to get out of my day job. That's what I need most of all. Yeah, so I have a plan to get out of my day job, but yeah, that's what I need. I need time, right? Because I think there's a lot of things that I want to do. But actually, something else that I really do need is speaking opportunities.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I do love public speaking, and I think for me that is a way that I can connect with people. So if anybody out there has any public speaking opportunities in the GTA, because unfortunately I'm not that mobile right now, but in the Greater Toronto area that they'd like to invite me to, please reach out. I'm a great public speaker, as you testified. Yeah.
And workshops and things like that as well. Like, I might have some contacts for you. So
cool.
Yeah. Very cool. And so if somebody's starting, right, what kind of advice would you give yourself about 10 years ago, 10 years ago?
I would say really, okay, 1, take time to heal from your breakup.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes what happens is you're so excited to get back out there that you don't really take the time, and then you wind up doing crazy things like, you know, come here, go away, come here, go away. You meet the wrong people, you get needy. Right? You get like that craving. I don't know if you've ever had that like, I need to be loved. I need someone to have sex with. I need, right? And when you put all those needs out there, you're not really putting yourself first. It sounds weird, but you're, you know, what I would say to myself is learn how to take care of those needs yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like learn how to give yourself the love that you're looking for. Learn how to get that connection in other ways first. Then when you're ready, then go out. Once your heart is full and your life is already full, then go out and start meeting people. But don't look to other people to fill the emptiness. Yeah. That's I think the major thing I would tell myself.
I like that.
You know, and you have lots of time. You really do. Yeah.
I just love what you're doing. So when you're working with people, what do you see the most, and what's sort of like the conversation? Like, do people get caught up on the same sort of patterns, trends, or do you see a lot of different things?
I do see a lot of different things. I think a common thing I see is people like not really just not knowing how to navigate through things like online dating, how to navigate through things like, you know, he didn't text me back and it's been 2 days, or, but it really varies. It really does. Yeah.
And what would you say to somebody like that said he hasn't texted me back and it's 2 days? Like, what would your advice be?
Actually, I have a blog post coming out about this, about being ghosted. That's my next blog post.
Yeah.
So that'll be my next newsletter. But what I would say is, you know what? Take a breath.
Yeah.
Feel what you're feeling. Recognize that, you know, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, 6 decades from now, knock on wood, we're all still alive, you know, how much is this going to really matter?
Yeah.
Right? In the big perspective of your life, you are more than just what's happening between you and this guy right now. And sometimes people come together for a reason, and sometimes people come together for a reason that's not always apparent. So, you know, if you're being ghosted, or even just you haven't heard from someone, that is an opportunity, right? Any sort of discomfort you feel in yourself, any sort of like, that's a calling that, okay, there's something in me that I can learn how to address. There's something in me that I need to kind of like learn how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Right? So what I tell people is like, when you're feeling like, oh, why hasn't he called? Think about like, what other things do you enjoy doing in your life?
Right. Yeah.
Go out and do them. You know, connect with a friend.
Yeah.
Connect with a hobby that you enjoy doing. Go for a walk, you know, do some exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I love about what you're doing that distinguishes you from all the rest, so the bulk of the information out there for dating and relating is all influence techniques.
Yeah.
And they do, Matt Hussey then like is getting you to connect with yourself, but most of his stuff is influence techniques.
Yeah.
And so it's how to win everyone, not just the right one. What I find is different about you is, okay, so you get triggered. Okay, so somebody hasn't called you back. You get triggered. Mm-hmm. Okay, sit with that emotion. Discover what that means to you, and what gap are you trying to fill with that relationship. Go fill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're kind of bringing more tools into people's toolboxes to have like this full life versus get the girl, and I think that was something for me along my journey, is I realized like it's not all about just getting in a relationship, and I felt that pressure to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And then once I got through it, I'm like, oh, that's silly. And so anyway.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying for sure. I think there is so much out there, and because it's a quick win.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, I'll just learn these techniques and then I'll feel loved, and then I'll feel powerful, and then I'll feel like I'm in control and I don't have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And what it kind of fails to, and don't get me wrong, because I totally study all those techniques, and I use some of them. I still, I suggest them for my clients depending on where they're at. But it's got to come from a place not of neediness. It's got to come from a place of wholeness.
Yeah.
And of fun.
Yeah.
Right? And not of a place of like, oh, that craving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So June, what's a fun fact about yourself?
I was trying to think of this. Like, what is a fun fact about myself? I love to sing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So this is something that I've recently kind of rediscovered, is I just really love to sing. I was in a cover band about 2 years in a row. I was in a cover band for this kind of Battle of the Bands contest, and it was so much fun. So I think that would be something. And like sometimes when I want to make myself feel better, I look at the world as a musical.
Yeah, right.
I'll like walk down the street and I'll be like, there's a homeless person, there's the car, this is what's happening in this park, whatever. Like, so
in your head? Like you don't break out in song like on the street?
Sometimes I do.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I do. I really, in my dream, you're like, what's your best day ever? And my best day ever, everybody is singing all the time, and there's dance numbers, and it's a big musical.
Oh my goodness, I can see you in like a TV show, like singing and dancing about dating.
Totally.
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
love it. I love it. Musicals. I just
I love
fun.
Okay, so I can see your future, but what do you see? So what are we looking at in like 5, 10 years from now? Do you write another book? Are you speaking on an international? Do you see what I see, or what's your
I see that. Yeah. So I have a vision, and I don't really know, like I haven't, I don't have it. I have this vision where I'm on a stage and it's a big auditorium, and there's maybe like 2,000, 3,000 people in this auditorium, and they are all high-fiving each other,
right?
right? Like everyone is standing up, they're high-fiving each other, they're hugging each other, they're creating connections,
Yeah.
right? And it's men and women coming together and like opening, like having a dialogue, not like a yelling session, but just talking to each other, understanding each other, people coming together and really seeing each other, right?
Yeah.
Really seeing who they are. So that's kind of like my bigger vision. So to be able to bring people to this state is, and I don't really know what it is, where I am, what I'm doing, but when I think about like what is it that I'm here to do,
Yeah.
it's to connect people and to connect a big audience, like reach a bigger audience and connect people and help them connect with love for themselves, for others, for us, for the planet even, even though that's not really my niche, but just because it extends.
It's all a ripple effect. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could see you too. I like that. This is what you got to quit your day job. Quit your day job. No. Or what
So close. Yeah.
But this is what you need to be doing. Like you are such a dynamic speaker. You have so much wisdom in this area that I think there's an aspect that a lot of stuff that I've read on dating and relationships has missed, and you fill that gap. So
Oh, thank you.
get
Yeah,
out there with
so.
it. Yeah.
I will. Ah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to put you on my website so that people can find you under Totally Awesome Friends of Jen. I'm going to throw this up on the Ladies That Lead Facebook group, and I'll attach all your links so that everyone can get in contact with you and start getting the resources that you're just pumping out there.
Thank you. Yeah, and thanks for having me. And I have to say, you're my hero.
Stop it.
Because you just get out there and you do it.
Right?
Right? Like, I'm totally on your heels, honey. I'm like watching what you're doing, and I'm like, oh, Jen's doing this. Oh, I should do that, right? Yeah, so thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you as well. That's what keeps us going, right? Like when I have a bummed out day, like I just go online, I'm like, oh, Jim's so good. And then I just like, I'm back on it, right? And that's why I've wanted to create this network. It's just like, it just, as the rising tide, lifts all boats.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, have a great day, and let's chat and come up to the Blue Mountain, and we can go for a walk and like a talk and like mastermind our future.
Yes. Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hey.
Thanks.